Hi, welcome to this episode of Hooked on Horses here at Pretty Pony Pastures. Today we're going to be looking at different types of hay that we can feed our horses and why some hay may not be good for certain horses. Hay is the most important food for your horse. That's because hay or grass is a complete food. It is the only food the horse really needs to survive. Now, I know we like to give our horses grain and maybe some supplements if they need it. And we've made cookies for our horses on another episode. But horses can be healthy just by eating hay as long as it's quality hay. Just like you can get different types of apples, there's McIntosh, Delicious, Gala, and a couple others. You can also get different types of hay. So we're going to look at a few of the most common types of hay that we grow here in Michigan. Now, hay falls into two categories. It's either a grass hay or it's a legume. A legume is a type of a plant like peanuts, peas, and beans. Legumes take the nitrogen from the air and convert it to ammonium nitrogen that they put into the soil. So legumes are really a healthy plant to put stuff back into the soil for other plants to grow. Grass hay is simply that. It's a grass. It's been cut, it's been dried, and most grasses take the nutrients from the soil in order so that they can grow. In our area, most of the horses are fed Timothy or a Timothy mix hay. Now, this is what Timothy looks like. You can recognize it because it has these long tails at the top of the stalk. Now, look carefully at this picture. Here are two stalks. Are they the same or are they different? Well, this first stalk is the Timothy hay, but this second stalk, it's foxtail. Now look at it real carefully. These two hays look like they're similar, but they're not. This part is not fuzzy or soft. It's barbed. And that means that it has little hooks on it that can get caught on your horse's tongue, lips, or gums. And this is one reason why you need to know how to recognize the grass that is good for hay and which ones aren't. Now, here's another type of grass hay that you might feed your horses. This hay has a feathery end on its stalk, and it's called brome. Both Timothy and brome hays are great for most horses. So now let's look at a legume hay. This is alfalfa. It is very leafy. It looks like a plant. In fact, it is a plant. Now, can you recognize this plant? This is clover. And bees love clover, and so do horses. In fact, bees love alfalfa too, because they want to make nectar to produce honey, and honey is sweet. Now think about it. Have you ever gotten a sugar high? Sugar has energy, and that is what gives you the high. Alfalfa and clover have high levels of protein, sugar, and starch, much higher than grass hay. And that's why most horses do prefer alfalfa or clover. But some horses can become insulin resistant, which is like diabetes, and they can't handle alfalfa or any hay that is high in protein, sugar, or starch. Other horses may have laminitis. They can't get alfalfa either. But young, growing horses and horses that do a lot of work may require the extra energy from alfalfa. And there are a lot of horses that can eat alfalfa without any real issues. So the type of hay that you feed your horse is very dependent on the age and the health of your horse. Now there's something else that we need to consider when feeding hay to our horses. Is it a first cutting hay or a second cutting hay? First cutting hay is the first time that we cut the hay that year. It could be anywhere from late May to early July. First cutting hay can have more weeds in it and dead grass from the previous year. It can also be stemmier if we're cutting it in early July. So this means that the horses won't get as much calories from the hay And this means the horses won't get as much calories from the hay, but they will get a lot of fiber, and that'll make them feel full. So horses that are called easy keepers, you want to give them first cutting because you want them to feel full from the fiber, but you want to keep down on the calories so that they don't get fat. Now, a lot of times if we feed first cutting, we want to add some grain to make sure that they get all the nutrients that they need. Second cutting hay, on the other hand, is a softer, easier to digest hay. And sometimes the vet will recommend the second cutting hay for our older horses. And we're going to limit how much they get so that they will be healthy but not get fat. So if you have a horse that has a weight problem, then you'll probably want to give that horse alfalfa or second cutting. But if you have a horse that can't tolerate the sugar, then you're going to want to give them the Timothy or the brome hay and first cutting. Now there's one more thing that you have to look for in hay. This is mold. You can see this black spot on this bale of hay. That's mold. And mold happens if the hay is not dry enough when the farmer bales it. Sometimes you'll also see mold when you pull the flakes apart. You're going to see white or black smoke coming out of the hay. And that's not really smoke, it's mold particles. Never, ever feed your horses moldy hay. Your horse can get sick. The best thing is, if you have a horse, make sure that you have a good farmer who will bring you out the type of hay that you need for your horse and guarantee that you're not going to get any moldy hay. Most good hay farmers will replace hay that could end up moldy if you happen to get a bale or two that is moldy. So this is the basics that you need to know about hay for your horses. Now, maybe on another episode, we'll go deeper into hay nutrients and why you want to pick one type of hay over another. But for now, make sure that you're feeding the right type of hay, whether it's a grass hay or a legume, and whether you're feeding first or second cutting, and whether you have a farmer that will guarantee that you're going to get good hay for your horses. Thanks for being here. Be sure to like this video and share it with your friends. Now, if you're on our Facebook page, be sure to like this page so that you'll be notified the next time the video is posted. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell. Follow us on Instagram and you'll see our next video whenever it's posted. And I'll see you next time on Hooked on Horses.